Crime and Punishment tonight, the case of Jason Porcal. Finally, he is a free man. In a moment, we're going to talk to him about his life, his freedom, and his life behind bars. We've been following, as you know, his case closely here in the program in order to shed light on a terrible miscarriage of justice. Porcal is a young American, a native of Washington State, who lived with his wife and child in Nicaragua. Nearly 2 years ago, he was arrested, charged with drug trafficking, convicted, and sent to Nicaragua's notorious La Modelo prison. What mystified everybody about the case is that there was really no evidence to support the charges against him. Well, Porcal is now free. He won't soon forget the nightmares he lived through. It's one of the most dangerous prisons in the world, Nicaragua's infamous La Modelo. And an innocent American named Jason Porcal spent nearly 2 years here, 2 years of a 22-year sentence for a crime he did not commit.
You had to explain what this has been like for you.
It's hard to put into words. It's very tough.
Porcal grew up in Washington State. He wanted to be a veterinarian. After graduating from the University of Washington, he joined the Peace Corps, hoping to work with exotic animals around the world. In 2002, he was stationed in Nicaragua. After his 2 years in the Peace Corps, he met and fell in love with Scarlett, a local Nicaraguan. They later married and moved to the popular beach town of San Juan del Sur. They have a son named Jabu. Porcal began working in a local RE/MAX office as a real estate agent and eventually began running the office. Life was good. He was raising his son in a community he said he loved and finding success with his company. But everything changed on November 11, 2010. On that afternoon, according to his family, Nicaraguan police burst into his home and office. They confiscated his files and took Jason away. He was accused of using his real estate business as a money laundering front for an international drug trafficking ring. He was arrested along with 10 other suspected drug traffickers. His family thought it was all a big mistake.
There's absolutely no evidence that Jason committed any of the crimes with which he was charged. I am an attorney and I've read through the entire case file, but more than that, I'm Jason's sister. And I know my brother. I know that he is absolutely 100% innocent.
Porcal was hopeful that this would be resolved quickly. His lawyers say the Nicaraguan authorities weren't able to provide any evidence linking him to a drug trafficking ring. They say no drugs were found at his home or office, no evidence of money laundering. We first spoke to Porcal back in June. He'd been in prison for more than 18 months and his health was deteriorating in the harsh conditions of the prison. Do you have any idea why the authorities in Nicaragua think you committed these crimes? I mean, why they focused on you? Because I don't see any evidence they actually presented.
I don't know the reason that I'm here. That's been a mystery from the very beginning of what the motives behind the police and the prosecution have been.
The day our interview aired, the Nicaraguan authorities announced they would grant Porcal an appeal. Is there anything you want people to know before you go?
I am 100% innocent of the crimes I've been accused of, and I can't wait to see my family again. And I thank everyone for all their support and their effort.
But that appeal went nowhere, and he sat in prison for another 2 months before he was finally able to plead his case to the courts once again.
I have faith that the judicial system in Nicaragua will let me go free and find the truth.
Last Wednesday, nearly a month after the hearing ended, the Nicaraguan court ordered Porcal's immediate release. The charges were annulled. We were there when Jason landed in the United States late last night, finally reuniting with his family as a free man. Two years of a living nightmare behind him. Great to see that reunion. Earlier tonight, I spoke exclusively to Jason and his sister Janice. I mean, were there days that you thought that you weren't going to get out?
Definitely. There were days where I started losing hope, and it is a very negative environment, the prison. And but you know, I think of my son and I think of my wife, and luckily, the days that I was the furthest down, my sisters would come in and visit me, and they'd bring me stacks of emails from not only friends and family, but all kinds of strangers. And those emails really lifted my spirits.
We're seeing video of the reunion with your family. What was that moment like? I can't even imagine.
It was, it's overwhelming joy. It's the only way you can describe it. It's just such a relief to have my son in my arms and everybody together and hugs and kisses all around, and it's still very, very surreal. The whole experience has been very unbelievable.
Janice, for you, what is it like? I mean, you fought so hard. A lot of people credit you. I mean, they say that a lot of folks say he wouldn't be out now if it wasn't for all your efforts.
We had a team of incredible people that some of them knew Jason and some of them didn't, and they fought loyally for him for 2 years. My world has been chaotic for these 2 years, and we have exhausted every resource that we have. But to watch him yesterday with his son, I know I would go back and do it all again from the start.
Do you fear for your safety in the prison?
Definitely.
Because, I mean, there are gangs, there are killers in there.
I was with rapists and murderers and actual drug dealers, and it's a very violent place. There's a lot of tension between different groups in there, and not only the conditions, but the other people around you.
So how do you figure that out? How do you figure out a way to survive in prison?
Day by day, minute by minute. It's a fight for your life every second of the day.
Do you feel free? I mean, has it sunk in yet?
I don't think it's really hit me yet. The first things I did when I got out was a hot shower. I took 3 hot showers in the first 6 hours.
You hadn't had a hot shower in
no, and I still felt dirty.
Yeah. What do you think about Nicaragua now? I mean, having been through this experience, wrongly accused, sent to prison, seeing the justice system up close, I mean, this is a country you really loved and dedicated your life to.
I still do love Nicaragua. I still believe in its potential. I still love the people there. There's wrongful convictions in every country around the world, including the United States. So I can't isolate it just to Nicaragua.
A lot of people around the world followed your case very closely and, you know, thought about you and prayed for you and wanted to try to help and were concerned about you. Is there anything you want to say to everybody who's followed you?
I want to say thank you, first and foremost, to my sister Janice and my family. I know without her, she put in thousands of hours as an attorney, and without her, I wouldn't be here, and you saved my life.
Thank you.
And through the website for jasonp.com, there's a whole network of people that I don't even know that have been supporting me and fighting for my freedom. And so I just want to say thank you to all those people, and I hope I can get to meet every one of them, including yourself, Anderson. I must say that I owe you a thank you as well. The coverage that you gave me, the international coverage, definitely stepped up the pressure. And so I thank you as well.
Oh. I'm glad you're home. Thanks. Well, a royal legal battle.